And we're back. I forgot to change the main topic, so that's fantastic. I'll do that in a bit.
Oh gosh,
Great job.
Great opening.
great.
Mhm.
Okay, so yeah, it's Friday
hi.
the 13th. You know,
Yeah.
we can say it's all right if things go
Yeah.
wrong.
It was bound
It's
to
also
happen.
very spooky. No, just
I'm not sure. I'm like the last part of October. I'm in this for the spooky vibes. I'm like, we can't do this an entire month. It's ridiculous to me. It's like
Yeah.
pepper nuts being at the store in August.
Pepper nuts.
It's nuts. Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay, well, everybody, welcome to Pixel Sprites and Nonsense, episode 3, season 2. You should say season 2, episode 3, but that's fine. Today we have a main topic. Hi, Marco. Hi, Marco is not the main topic. The main topic is actually
No kidding.
we're gonna talk about games that introduced us or gave us an insight into genres we usually don't play. So that's going to be our main topic. We're going to be talking about the news. Microsoft broke the news today that they actually acquired Activision Blizzard. So that's part of the Microsoft Studios right now.
Yeah. Surprisingly. Well, not really surprising, but sooner
No.
than
It's
a lot of
finally
people
over.
anticipated. But,
It's kind of on point. We were expecting it this week, and it happened on Friday.
True.
So, yeah,
True. I did say earlier this week.
They needed to close it by next week, but they already said they were probably gonna make it happen this week.
Yeah.
And they did, right on the cuff. So without further ado, let's drop the intro and we'll be right back. And the intro is done. We're back.
Yay.
So
I deliberately kept myself quiet during the intro.
And we thank you for
holding our breath like.
Yeah.
So how are you guys doing?
Well, I'm okay. I mean, I'm on one Coca-Cola and one coffee, so I'm awake today. And then I think your guys are not. You're having like a end of the work week
Well,
drop in energy.
Yeah, but that's normal for me on Friday. The therapy thing just gets me every time.
Oh yeah.
I have therapy on
exhausting.
Thursday, so yeah.
Yeah.
But that's cool. And what about you, Benjiro?
Yeah, Marco pretty much said it in chat. We have kids that won't let us sleep.
Oh gosh.
Yeah,
issues.
entire week. Yeah,
So,
that's not great.
Yeah, it's been like that the entire week. Also, my mind just started racing for no reason. So I went to bed at like 10:30 earlier this week, and I couldn't sleep until like 2 a.m. And then the kid came in at around 5 a.m. So I slept for like 3 hours and had meetings the entire day. So that was fun.
Yeah, great.
And then yesterday a mosquito kept me up. That apparently doesn't exist because Marco never noticed the mosquito. So it was a ghost mosquito. I was being haunted, which is very on theme. And so yeah, that was fun. So yeah, I had a couple of terrible nights, busy at work. So hopefully the weekend will give me some much needed R&R.
We're also getting close to the daylight saving switch again, which
great.
Like I already noticed.
It's an hour extra this time, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, that's good.
Extra sleep.
That's good.
Yeah.
Does that bother you guys? The switch?
Not really.
Well, not in the winter like now. This one is actually positive, of course, because
longer weekend.
I always say it's winter, it's cold, so we get like an extra, right?
Yeah,
that's how I remember what happens if the hour goes back or forth.
Yeah.
But yeah. It doesn't really bother me, but I do notice because it's such a thing that we as humans have decided to do that in the last month, like I kind of started noticing it because it's remains darker in the morning. So
yeah,
you kind of wake up in this it's way too early right now feeling. It should be an hour later, that feeling. So yeah, at least that's what I notice every year. So and it's the opposite. When it switches back, where I like wait.
It's because of the farmers.
I feel too good. I feel too awake right now.
Yeah, no, it's a stupid thing.
It's
It was an economic thing. It wasn't even a farmer's thing. It
it
was an
was kind of a
economic thing.
farmer's thing. It was
No,
literally saved their
that's the
daylight.
lie. That was the lie.
Is that the myth?
So yeah,
Just like the mosquito.
yeah, just like just like the mosquito. The mosquito is a lie.
We
as
just
Marco
don't know
said
what's
in
real
chat.
anymore.
Okay, so what did we play this week? Let's start with Fosh. What did you guys do?
Yeah, what did you play, Vash?
Not just
me
this
first.
week,
All
or
right.
the last 2
Well,
weeks.
I didn't really play any new games. I did play new games that aren't even out yet because there's a Steam Next Fest is happening right now, as we speak. An entire week of demos. Quite a lot of demos. Lots of bullshit in there as well.
Yeah.
But I did play some interesting titles. One was Victory Heat Rally, which is a racing game.
Mm-hmm.
And it is a very fun little arcade game, very reminiscent of things like F-Zero and Mario Kart, that sort of stuff.
Hmm.
And it looks really cute, like very chibi cars. I love that.
Okay.
Churro Q. I think it was Churro Q. That was an old racing game that also had chibi cars.
Okay.
That I really like that one, and this is very fun. It's a very fun looking, simple game. Very fun little arcade racer. The next game that I played is also I'm not seeing any video on.
No, because you're
the
supposed to
stream.
do that yourself, buddy.
No, wait. I thought you were doing the videos this week.
Yeah, I take care of the videos, but you're supposed to start them yourself, and I'll switch the scene.
Okay, I'm sorry.
It's a little easier also because then you
that's
switch
true.
and you know
Yeah.
where to.
All right. Fine. So yeah. What was it? Victory Heat Rally. It looks very cute. It's a fun demo. It's it's very fast, and it looks cute. It looks very cute.
It's very nice, clean art style.
Yeah, the art style is very good. The art style is very nice.
So it's like it's a little bit like
lots of drifting. Yeah.
Style.
So it's also drifting, but you can get off the track at some points, depending on which track you're playing.
It kind of reminds me of the old Mario Kart stuff. It looks flat that way, and not just a car, because that's obviously a sprite. But
yeah, but the map, even though the track is 3D, it does look kind of flat, which it really works. I really enjoyed it. And the next game I finally played is Karamazoo, or as the voice, the person that voices it, Karamazoo. It's very fun. It's also there are very different versions of how he's saying it. So at one point he's like laughing, or there's different modes. So he says loop. That's a loop mode. It's an altruistic co-op platformer. So you have to help each other to advance.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
You have to stick together because you have this sort of aura around you, and you have to collect hearts throughout the level. And by helping each other, you can collect those hearts. And at the end, you grow a big karma tree, and that's how you get more points to unlock new characters. So you start out as a blob, but you can turn into a wolf, a lantern, a spring. So it's not just animals, but also objects, a UFO with an alien inside it, a clock, a whale even. And they all have different abilities, so you can help your fellow,
your fellow players. Okay.
Yeah.
So you're just playing this with randoms? It's just...
Yeah, you can play with randoms. You can also create a room that you can invite people to. It's also a very cheap game. It's on sale right now. It's coming out November 14th, and I really enjoyed it so far. Okay. There's also a versus mode. Yeah.
Almost every level and like character set is different.
There's 300 handcrafted levels for the loop.
Nice.
Loop.
Now you just make it sound like loop.
Loop, yeah.
Yeah.
But it's Karamazoo. So, like I said, there's Totem, which is the versus modus, and Loop is the co-op modus.
Sponsored by
And,
Duracell.
yeah,
Duracell.
sort of. So Karma Zoo, it's very fun. Next up, I played. Or should someone else talk about one first?
No,
Because I just had 2 games.
no.
No, we just we always do all
We
all
always,
the games.
yeah, you do your
Right.
complete.
Okay. Fine. All right. Fine.
This is the
fine.
first time Fosh is here.
Yeah.
He doesn't.
Nope.
Completely forgot the status quo here.
Yeah. I've never been here before. I've never done all the episodes so far. So yeah, it's like I said, I'm not awake fully yet.
I think
so,
we're all a little, at least not except for
a
me.
little
I'm
a little
not, yeah.
loopy.
A little loopy.
So terrible, I know. So the next game is American Arcadian, which is a very interesting title. It's a platforming game, but also it's a very, flat. It looks 3D, but it's very flat. You don't move across the level. You only move from left to right or right to left.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's
So there's really no depth in the way you move.
No, so it's like 2.5D.
Yeah. So it turns out that it's kind of a mix of it's a dystopian world where you're basically in a world of what was that movie with Jim Carrey?
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Yeah, The Truman Show.
Truman Show. Yeah.
Yeah. So your life is a lie, and you figure that out very fast in the demo.
Mm-hmm.
And suddenly some unknown person contacts you. But you also get to play as that unknown person at some point, because then the game switches to a 3D puzzle game.
Okay.
So, or a first-person puzzle game.
First person, okay.
Yeah.
I saw the first person. I was like, wait, is it just cutscenes or is this also gameplay? But it's also
No, that's also gameplay. So
Yeah.
there's 2 characters you get to play as. One is an IT engineer, and there's, like I said, there's first-person stuff in there. And the main character and the other main character is a dude who is voiced by Yuri Lowenthal. So that's going to be fun because the game's coming out November 15th, quite fast after Spider-Man 2, also voiced by Yuri Lowenthal. So
okay.
that's going to be fun when you play those games, those 2 games. So yeah, I really enjoyed it. I love the style, the look, and it's a setting that I just enjoy because dystopian stuff always interests me. But it also has this very 70s look to it, like retro future 70s, and I kind of like that cool. Like that stuff. And the final game that I played would be Go Mecha Ball.
Wow.
Where you're a robot, and it's it kind of plays like an action RPG.
Okay.
From the you look at it from the top, it's isometric. You get to shoot a lot of stuff, but you also get to move around as a ball very fast through the levels. And it's high speed. It's very fun. It's challenging in the demo. Yeah, it just looks very bright, very colorful, and lots of different weapons that you can find and upgrade. And yeah, it's
like
very enjoyable.
Isometric Metroid. An isometric.
Yeah, I was kind of thinking the same thing. It's like
Isometroid.
It kind of looks like Metroid meets Marble Madness.
Yeah. Yeah. So well, I think Marble Madness meets Nuclear Throne. So because there's different, you just have different levels, and it's not. I don't think you can go back and forth like in Metroid. But yeah, it's very fun. I really enjoyed the fast-paced gameplay.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's the 4 demos I played that I thought were noteworthy. So yeah.
Nice.
On to the next one.
That's man. What about you?
Yeah. So I finished the story of Starfield.
Nice.
Yeah.
I haven't played it in a bit.
And I actually surprised myself with that. Yeah, so I did that. And of course, like everybody's hinting at, there's a sort of new game plus at the end. And I haven't really dug into that because, I was like, okay, I finished the story. I'm kind of done with this game for now.
Yeah.
I put 76 hours into it,
Mm,
where I started
nice.
doing a lot of side stuff, and then I decided, okay, I'm going to go for the main story. And actually, what I found is that the story, main story, is quite short.
Yeah, you
In
said
my
something like that in your tweet. Like it felt
yeah,
really
like
short.
but I don't know if that's me like having kind of like this felt like false feeling about it. But it's like because I got to like the first big reveal of like what the plot is, what's going on in the world of Starfield,
Mm-hmm.
like the big discovery that you make as a explorer. And then I thought, okay, here we go, right? It's gonna start, and it's gonna go off into this big epic adventure with like the whole universe involved and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And it kind of like, I don't know, it kind of doesn't grow very much in like skill. The
Mm,
story skill is not very big.
I think that's a
As in,
problem that the game DLC has been announced. Like, if you
yeah.
have
yeah,
the digital deluxe version, which you got with your collector's edition, it actually said that you'll get the first two DLC packs will be included.
yeah. And I
So
Mm,
wonder because yeah, there's some things that are left open at the end, like
mm,
things they talk about but you won't see yet, right?
mm-hmm.
And maybe that they save that for the DLC.
Probably, yeah.
But it's also a game that is, I think, built around the idea that something that Todd Howard, I think, has also said on social media is this game is meant to be played for a long time,
Yeah,
and you like side stuff is one of the main components of this game. Like
right,
just going out on your own and just doing whatever you want. Like,
right.
and I think it's a bigger focus in this game than in previous Bethesda games,
Hmm.
where you don't have a main story that will take you to all the different things you could do in the game, because it doesn't. Um, Things like base building, I have not touched at all. Like,
Hmm.
because I was like, okay, why do you actually need that in the end? Maybe to eventually make enough money to do stuff. But then I discovered you make enough money playing the game, like ridiculous amounts of money. Like I was never
Mm-hmm.
in this way of like, oh God, I have to do some side quests to get money to build my ship or to, uh, you know, uh, complete certain things or something.
Right.
Um, and there's some other things that I've never seen. Something like, because of course I went to watch the direct video, this one, to
yeah,
see are there things in here that I've missed. And
Definitely.
one of the things is, for example, the no gravity stuff, where you're in a ship
Oh,
or a
right.
station with no gravity at all, because it's it's they developed features around that and how your weapons work, and they
Mm,
discuss that stuff in the trailer, but there's not a single mission in the campaign that
right. So that's
goes
side
there.
quest stuff.
Yeah, that's side quest stuff.
Right.
And
Makes sense.
I did play a few of the bigger side quest storylines,
Mm-hmm.
and it also addresses some of that stuff in the main quest. Like there's a certain connection there,
Mm-hmm.
um, but about all the things you do in the world. But yeah, it's weird. It's like I think I felt the same with it felt a little bit the same as with Halo Infinite, where the
Mm,
main story is just this thin line in a big world,
right.
and it just ends. And yeah, it felt a little bit weird. I was expecting like escalation in the story, where you would get all the factions involved, and it would become this big
Yeah.
story centered around you. But it's more like you and your crew are going through an adventure. You discover something very big, but it doesn't affect the entire universe. It's just
Mm,
you and your squad, basically.
okay.
Um, like
I
it's
mean,
pretty cool. Like it does use like a known sci-fi trope for the main quest. I'm not gonna
mm,
spoil it. But it's one of those things. Oh, they're gonna do this, right? It's one of
okay.
those. Oh, yeah, I've seen this in
Mm-hmm.
movies or in other sci-fi stuff.
Got it.
It's pretty interesting.
Mm.
But yeah, and there was definitely some highlights in the campaign, where there's one moment where something happens, and I don't want to spoil it because it's really cool. where you're in an environment and suddenly the environment changes like this, like in an instant, and you're like, whoa. And it's suddenly it's quiet around you, and you're in this different environment. You're like, wait, what happened, right? And there's a plot point that ties to that, of course, but it's very cool. There's little surprises like that along the way. But yeah, I wasn't really, I don't know, blown away by it.
Okay.
And I think playing Skyrim or Morrowind, where the whole world reacts to you and you feel like you have this impact. Like in Skyrim, you're the Dragonborn, and you're, everybody sees, oh my god, he's the Dragonborn.
You're the chosen
Dragons are
one.
everywhere.
Yeah, but now you're just a small part of a bigger
now
universe.
you're just a guy that has his has his encounters with something, and then it ends.
I mean, it's pretty cool.
Yeah,
it's very different.
Yeah, it's
previous
very different.
games.
Yeah, but usually you play video games because you want to have that power.
True.
That power fantasy.
Yeah.
If the same, you have the same problems with MMO. In an MMO, you're just one of the soldier guys. You're never the one saving the world. And if this game kind of does the same thing, so you're gonna be part of saving the world, but you're never the main character. That's in the MMO thing.
Yeah, and it doesn't even it doesn't really touch on that, and like it's you versus what you discover, like the things you discover, and what they hint at the end of the direct, where you have the power thing. You get stuff like that, but it's also it felt very, oh yeah, you also have this stuff, and then it ties into the story, but it's, I don't know, it felt like a prologue almost for something bigger.
Okay.
And they do discuss that, because there's a whole element to the story and the origins of those powers, the power thing. It's like like exactly, you're collecting artifacts, right? That's one of the starting things.
Yeah.
And who made those artifacts? Like all those questions. There's a few questions that are never answered.
I do think it's kind of bad though. Like it might not diminish the experience for a lot of people, but if you feel like the game just ends at Act 1, it kind of feels weird. Like it's the starting point of something bigger.
I'd say Act 2.
So
like there's an introduction, there is a encounter and a confrontation with something, and something important, but at the end of that Act 2, you collect stuff. That's the only thing you do is collect stuff, and you fight a couple of things,
right?
And then it's over, because there's a boss battle at the end, and then it's over. And it felt very small scale, like it's weird. But yeah, it's I don't know, it's and I didn't have the big draw to keep playing for now, so maybe I'll get back to it and see what the extra stuff is, because you get a lot of choices after the credits roll. You get a few choices how you want to continue the game.
Okay.
So it's interesting, but yeah. There was one thing I do want to mention. There's one point I got kind of surprisingly emotionally invested, and it really hit me in the stomach. Like there was one point, and it's funny because I was always, one of the critics I have is that the characters are not, they feel a little bit like puppets and stuff, but that little story point still hit me. And it was kind of interesting to see a game like this do that. So, but then again, there's another twist, and I don't know. I can't talk about it. I would love to talk about it maybe one day. But yeah, there's a few twists. Yet, so. Yeah. So I don't want to spoil anything more. I'm going to stop talking about Starfield. You just explore it for yourself, because there is some interesting.
I do intend to. Yeah. Especially for what you just said, I do intend to continue the game for myself at some point.
Yeah.
So I do kind of like it. No.
Yeah. In terms of demos, there's a lot of demos, but there's always some games that are, on my radar. And then, of course, during Next Fest, or just a little bit before, they also release demos. And one of them is The Last Exterminator, which is, again, a boomer shooter.
That's right, yeah.
Yeah, but the funny thing is that this one is like a Duke-like. a Duke Nukem 3D like, a little bit like the build games, but with 3D models. So it does have its own style a little bit. I mean, there's a lot of references to Duke, basically. The main menu theme, the music is very Duke-like. And even like the basic, like the standard enemies, they kind of have this like one of the Duke Nukem 3D standard enemies, those lizards. Or is it those
those
troopers?
lizards. Yeah.
Those standard troopers. They look a little bit like it, but you know, and then of course they're aliens. So, but they're insects, so basically insect aliens. That's why it's also called The Last Exterminator,
Right.
because the aliens are like insects, kind of insect
Yeah.
people, basically. And yeah, it's fun. It's one of those games that feels very good to play. Like the shooting feels very cool. Like you have this big impact when you shoot someone with a shotgun and they fly back, and or you shoot them with a pistol and they, you know, they react very well. So you have this. It's a very much a
modern
power
stuff.
fantasy shooter.
Yeah.
There's like kick to everything.
Right.
Under that, of course, there's secrets everywhere you can find. Like
course.
this vent that I'm fighting here. So how do you get in there? You use it by jumping up this thing. It took me a few tries. But yeah, and of course there's like little mini game things like the arcade machine you can play on. There's like lots of interactive elements. So if you see a fire extinguisher next to an enemy, of course you're going to shoot the fire extinguisher. All sorts of stuff like that. There's a lot of references and in-jokes about boomer shooters, about you know, pop culture references. You know, it's very much expected in a game like this. Like, you know, movie jokes and stuff. And yeah, the levels are very big and very well designed. You know, it's one of those things where everything loops. So if you go look for a key card and then disconnects to that alley and that building, and it's like very integrate. It's very well designed. And yeah, and actually I want to also mention, because there was another game that also ties into the next game I played. There was a demo that was released for another boomer shooter, which is a sequel to Iron Fury, called I don't know.
Aftershock.
Phantom Fury. And I want to just discuss it quickly, because Phantom Fury was supposed to be the big sequel. That was also going to be in kind of the beginning 2000 shooters. So where things got 3D, like for example this The Last Exterminator kind of vibe too. And but Phantom Fury turned out to be a really bad demo, and I think universally everybody was saying that. And so after playing that and then playing this game, The Last Exterminator, I was like, oh well, this game is actually 10 times better than the big title that everybody was waiting for, which is really strange, because you know this game is made by a very small team, and Phantom Fury was going to be this big thing, this big one of the bigger boomer shooter revival shooters, basically. So yeah, I'm very much into boomer shooters, so I play a lot of them. But yeah, you can just like the quality was very different, and yeah, that was a thing. And so speaking of Iron Fury, I'm now playing through the expansion pack, which released very recently, called Aftershock, which means just basically more levels in the same kind of vein as the original game. It's still a build engine game, but they really went crazy with level design and what is possible in a build engine game. There's like these vehicle sections. There's like environments with a lot of like complex geometry, like multiple floors above each other and stuff like that you wouldn't normally have in a build game. So it's very cool to see how complex they were making these levels. Like they're very elaborate. And
Cool.
And actually, yeah. So even this expansion pack is technically better than the current state of Phantom Fury. Oh, and by the way, they did address the Phantom Fury team did address all the critic stuff. So they're gonna work on it and stuff. And they said certain things weren't final and stuff. So
No.
the official sequel to this game is gonna be better in the end, hopefully.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's
Cool.
what I played. So
Okay.
Benjiro.
I
you
didn't
do?
really play a lot of games. So what I did play is Forza Motorsports came out. It's on Game Pass. Checked it out. First I checked it out on Xbox, which was running fine, and then I moved over to the PC. Was able to max out the game pretty much. Still hit above 60 frames, which was great. But the game crashes after every race. So I did some checks, and the PC version has some issues. There's been some patches. It might be fixed now. But yeah, basically people were having issues. It didn't matter if you were running an AMD card or if you were running NVIDIA. Either the game, if you didn't leave the settings on default, but you would just tweak them and customize them to your liking, the game would crash either at the beginning of races or at the end, or the game just wouldn't boot at all and would instantly crash.
I mean, that's kind of bad.
Yeah, it's not great.
No.
So there has been a driver update on the AMD side. I'm not really sure about NVIDIA. Can really check that. But it might be better now. I didn't really get a chance to check that out. Also, over the last couple of weeks, I've been going through my collection, or actually our collection, and I've been selling off some stuff. And one of the things I was going to sell off was the analog pocket. I haven't used it in quite a while. And I was pretty much done with it. Okay, I'm not playing these games. It's just lying around. Maybe somebody else can have it and I could just, do something else. So when, by the time I sold the dock, I kind of got like seller's regret. Now, not for the dock specifically, but I was like, okay, I'm not really sure I want to sell my pocket. So I decided not to sell the pocket, and I just booted up Pokemon Emerald, and I've been playing through that. That has been a lot of fun. So I've been playing these old games, these old Pokemon games. I've been playing some other Game Boy games. I've been I updated the system, going through the different cores, but played some what is it? Simpsons Arcade on there, which works fine because the handheld actually has 6 buttons. And the other thing I got in this week was a digital out to HDMI converter for GameCube. So that does is it converts the digital out, which certain GameCubes, not all of them, but most of them actually have. And it converts it to HDMI. So I've been checking that out. It appears usually when you have these boxes that convert like an old signal to HDMI, usually it comes with added lag, which is terrible, especially when you game. So I checked it out. The lag seems nearly non-existent. Like I didn't notice it. I actually played some Paper Mario 1000 Years Door, which has a very time-based combat system, and it worked without a hitch. It just worked fine. Okay. So I've been kind of on I've been having a lot of troubles focusing on the latest modern games. Like I think we all dropped Baldur's Gate for the time being, probably until they fix it up. I didn't really get into Starfield. It seems interesting to me, but I just can't seem to focus on big games. So we have a lot of good games coming out this year, but I'm not really excited for any of them. I'm not sure why.
I think one of the things that I feel for me personally also is that some games are too big. And they immediately thinking about the game itself creates this pressure.
Yeah,
of like if I'm going to get into it, I'm going to have to spend a lot of time.
Exactly. It's always a daunting task. It's if I'm going to invest in this game, it's going to take me over 100 hours, and I don't have an infinite amount. I have a very finite amount of time.
Yeah.
And a handheld for me, like the Pocket, I can just pick that up and I can still watch the kids, and I can just put it to the side. And also, most of these older games that I like playing are a little bit more kid friendly. Like most of the games that came out this year, I can't play Baldur's Gate when the kids are around. Literally in the opening, you have to pull a brain out of a skull.
Yeah.
I can't do that with a 3-year-old and a 5-year-old.
Nope.
I can play Forza,
Mm-hmm.
but let's be honest, like I really enjoy Forza Horizon, which is fun. Motorsports is it's okay. It's not super fun. It's because you're just driving around on circuits. It's very much a simulation. So it's not fun to watch. You're not doing fun things. You're not trying to break. It's not in an open world thing. It lacks fun. It's very serious. It's nice to play, but it's very much a simulation game, much akin to Gran Turismo. You can't say Gran Turismo is a lot of fun. It's just, if you're into racing games, it's good and you'll enjoy it, but it's missing that fun factor.
It's a skill game and not a spectacle.
Exactly. So the kids don't enjoy watching that, so they get bored instantly, which I get. My wife gets bored instantly when she likes watching Horizon because it's just fun, but it's not the same for motorsports. So that's so I've been going back towards some older games. I've been looking to sell some of my stuff, like some of the PS3 stuff. I'm looking to sell that. Maybe pick up some more GameCube stuff, some of the higher end stuff. Yes, you don't care about it at all. Who me know? Yeah. Yeah, like it's literally, when I start playing Forza Motorsport, everybody wants a conversation because nobody cares about the television. So yeah, fairly interesting.
Yep.
So that's what I've been up to. Just playing some of these older games, checking out some of the GameCube stuff. I have a kind of a interesting library when it comes to GameCube, so working through that. And just enjoying some of the older stuff. The stuff that when I pop it into my system in 10 years, it's still going to be fine because it doesn't need DLC. It doesn't have day one patches. It's just, the full experience. And I'm kind of enjoying going back to a simpler time. I enjoy the games that come out right now, but honestly, I'm happy that I don't have to worry about season passes when I pop one of those in.
Yeah, that's why I play a lot of like those boomer shooters and those build engine things.
Yeah, I get
sense.
the mentality. Yeah,
because there's not a big story behind it. It's just levels you go through. And you can just play it while listening to a podcast because you don't have to pay attention 100%.
And even with stuff like Humble Bundle, it just creeps in because usually with Humble Bundles, especially nowadays, they've always put one of those games in there that you really
you get hooked into.
Want to try?
Want to try, and then it comes with a voucher for 50% off for the DLC, and you're like, oh, okay, that's the hook and sinker right there.
Yeah,
that's what they want you to do.
I see.
Yeah,
and that voucher expires, by the way. It expires within a month, so there's your added pressure.
You gotta get it now.
Yeah. Let that FOMO work in there.
I don't really use those vouchers.
No,
so
me neither. But
fine.
I get that a lot of people will be very vulnerable for things like that.
Oh yeah.
It's
That
susceptible.
FOMO is real. Yeah. Also, we're still not sponsored by Humble Bundle.
No, I'm kind of bad mouthing them now that they're using that they're kind of shitty business practice. But
I mean, they still have got great bundles. So
they do have some good bundles.
Stuff.
Yeah. I don't know. I've been going through some of the old stuff, and I'm finding joy there. Also, which is something not everybody agrees with. We all know that the 3DS is going the way of the dodo, right? It's just dying. They're killing off the store early next year. Same for Wii U. They're killing off the store. I think by March they're gonna do that.
Yeah, but you can still download stuff. But yeah, you mean
no? But by March, the entire online stuff will just die.
Oh, also, wow, that's bad.
So next year they're basically killing them off. There's already a not Nintendo network being built. So.
Okay.
Of course.
You can get your not Nintendo stuff. Or they call it not Nintendo, if I'm right. But cool. Yeah. So I did hack...
if you can't get those games normally on your 3DS anymore, that just sucks.
Well, obviously you can get the digital stuff or the physical stuff, but not the digital stuff.
Yeah.
So I hacked one of our Japanese 3DSs. We got or a 2DS. We got a new 2DS from
Oh, nice.
Japan, which has the slime motive on it, from the
Oh,
Dragon
Dragon
Quest
Quest.
games.
Yeah.
And we had a really hard
Slimes are
time
cute.
getting that to work. I finally managed to hack that one. I had to use
Mhm.
like translator tools on my phone to actually read the error messages. But now it's
Mhm.
region free, so it doesn't just
Mariko
play.
can read them, right?
Yeah, but she's not gonna be here while I keep trying to
Okay,
hack
that's
the
true.
3DS.
That's true.
So
That's true. Yeah.
I actually joined a Discord, and there were some very helpful people there that got
Awesome.
me through, because there was just some weird issues. But
Mm.
yeah, it's 3DS. DS was fine. 3DS is region locked. DS was actually region 3.
Mhm.
And now the Japanese 3DS is actually region 3. We can play everything, so it's fantastic.
Awesome.
So yeah, I've been enjoying the 3DS as well. Just going
Nice.
back to some of these older systems, just reminiscing about
Yeah.
a time when everything wasn't as complicated as it is now. So
Mhm.
that's it for me. They didn't really play a lot of new games, but yeah, you just put some old stuff back in the
Yeah.
back
I
in
mean,
rotation, and it's just fun.
Going back to old stuff is also something that just happens to me quite a lot. So
So,
no strange to that.
Yeah.
no. But one thing, I'm looking at the time, and if we still want to do the main topic, we should do it now instead of talking about
No,
the
we're going to
news.
talk about the news. We're going to skip the topic bit because you didn't get
Okay.
time to actually work it through, so we'll work it in next week.
Yeah, I think
Okay.
we'll just prep
I mean,
it
it's
better
fine.
for
Yeah,
next
but
time.
okay. So okay, fine. But I was thinking more of the time. Let's talk about the games.
I
and
agree. We can, but there's still some news we can go through.
There's some very big news.
Okay, but let's start with
We
the
already said
smaller
them.
news.
Yeah.
PlayStation 5 is getting a
literally.
downsize.
Mhm.
Yay.
Yep.
So,
I mean, it's not the only thing that has lost weight around here. So, yeah, Pinjiro?
I'm allowed to make that joke.
No,
Yeah. Apparently you lost weight. Apparently you.
no. You lost weight. I mean, I did lose some weight.
I
as well,
lost that, but
not a
okay,
lot.
it's kind of fun. PlayStation announced that they lost about 30% of their total weight. On the
Yep.
PS5. I lost about
Yeah.
30% of my total weight.
Exactly.
But I'm not a PS5, so there's a
No.
slight difference. But
I don't like to play with you anyway, so I'm not kidding.
Luckily, we're not really into multiplayer.
No. Oh, we do play some multiplayer stuff, but
Yeah, but I get kind of bossy.
And that's true. That's true.
So anyway,
There's a
Marco,
there's a new PS5.
Marco is right, and on that note, anyway,
a new look on the PS5. So can I share this? Did I make a thing that I can? Probably.
I'm not sure.
Well,
was there a video for it?
No,
there's a video actually. There is one.
Then add the video. Add the video to the video thing. So I'll find the video. You talk about.
I got the video. No, I got the video.
Okay.
I'm gonna edit now. So I can talk about it though, if you want.
Did you add the video?
Topic. No, I'm gonna add it now. Hang on. You
just add it to the video. There it is. Okay, here we go.
Yep. So, yeah, they managed to make it smaller.
Yeah. So, but there is a big caveat here, and that's why I want to talk about it.
Yeah. So what they did, and it's been rumored for a while now, is that there's one version of the PlayStation 5 now with the new model. So it's basically the basic version is a digital version, but you can buy an add-on so you can play Ultra HD Blu-ray disc drive or Blu-ray discs. So you can make it a physical version out of the digital version, which is pretty neat, to be honest.
You think it's neat?
I think it's
this
kind of
is
neat.
another nail in physical media. This is
it
just
is.
adding another nail. Well, we all know it's gonna go the way of the dodo, right?
Yeah.
Specifically, that's why I wanted to talk about this, because it's not just the PS5 that is killing physical media. Walmart announced this week, and I know it's not on our docket, that they're gonna stop selling physical media.
Well, not Walmart. It's Best Buy.
Oh yeah, I'm sorry, it's Best Buy. You're right.
Yeah.
But they're gonna stop selling physical media coming next year, and that
Well,
includes movies and video games.
no,
Wow.
not video games.
No, it does include video games.
No, does not include video games. They
Oh.
specifically said that. So they are going to stop the sale of DVDs at online stores and in stores themselves. Walmart is still going to keep them for now, but they also specifically said, I think it was that came out like an hour ago, so that's why you probably didn't know yet.
Okay.
But they did say that they're not going to stop the sale of video games yet.
Yet.
Yet. I added the yet myself because it's gonna happen in the future.
Target did do it though. Target stopped selling video games.
Yeah.
So that's the first of the big chains.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Hmm.
So, but what's funny about, I mean, at least funny, there's a kind of a joke now that the hump got humpier for the PlayStation 5 with the because with the disc drive version. But it's funny because the disc version sold more than the digital version, and not just because it was a smaller total shipped consoles, but it just didn't sell that well.
Because
Which makes sense.
Yeah, people want the
Because
complete
people will still
experience.
Like, yeah, but they were still like into the mindset of I'm gonna buy a game in a store. The digital thing is just not through yet with most people.
No, but it's getting there, and this is an easy way.
I don't. But I know this is Ubisoft. We're going to come back to Ubisoft. But one person at Ubisoft said that they don't see physical completely disappear, like collector's edition, that sort of stuff. People will still buy those, but it's going to be a very niche market.
Yeah, but it doesn't matter anymore. Physical won't matter anymore, because we just talked about Starfield. If you have a physical version of Starfield, which is nearly impossible because you need to have the Xbox version and only the regular version because the digital, deluxe or the deluxe edition or collector's edition came with a code. It's never going to be the complete. It's never going to be the complete version. If I pop in Mario Kart Double Dash on my GameCube, I'm gonna be able to play the entirety of Mario Kart Double Dash. If I pop in Smash Brothers, the Ultimate on my Switch, it's not complete. It's missing about 20 fighters that were added as DLC later. I'm not sure if it's 20.
Because it was by design.
Because they don't care if what you're getting there, the physical part, that's an entry into the actual product. Every disc of Destiny is worth less than the plastic it actually probably cost, because you can, especially if you still have the disc version of the original Destiny, you can't play that. You can put it in your computer. You can put it in your PlayStation, and it won't do anything. It won't boot. It will just. It will probably get to the splash screen, and then it will just say can't connect the servers, and you're done.
Yeah.
It's not worth anything.
No.
No, you're playing.
It's kind of
you're buying the platform basically.
Yeah. And the same with Starfield. Starfield is going to come out with a bunch of DLC, but you're not going to have the full version unless they go like Starfield Legendary Edition. Like they love releasing Skyrim, so they might eventually do that.
Well, I do think Starfield is on itself a pretty big package.
Yeah, but it had a day one patch. It had a big day one patch. So if you were always gonna play a diminished version of what you actually played.
In that way,
so
yes.
What you're actually saying is we should stop with day one patches. Just
obviously we should stop with day one patches because it's very it's you just if you let the game go gold.
Make sure it's actually
prior
finished
to actually going for a print run. And just release your game 1 or 2 months later. You're gonna have a complete edition, complete game on your disc.
Yeah.
That
is the ultimate goal.
And that's the way to preserve this medium, because we have a fair it's fine if you buy a movie because it's not gonna get patched. You can buy a special edition later that has added scenes, but that's a different product. With games, it's very fluid. Like we have patches, we have new stuff adding to our current to our current product, the product we actually own.
Mm-hmm. Usually,
Uh,
expansion packs came on discs.
yeah.
In the past.
And either just re-release it later, and I would be okay with that. But they don't usually do that. They did that for Pokemon Sword and Shield, and that's why I kind of.
That's pretty cool. Yeah.
Well, for Pokemon Sword and Shield, you can get a version. It was kind of limited, and I think you could only get it through Nintendo's own store. You can get a version that has the expansion pass on it. So you basically get the DLC. The DLC is on your cartridge, and it literally installs the license when you put it in. So you don't need a cartridge. They did this they kind of did the same thing for Scarlet and Violet, except they just added a code to the box. Which means it's basically still the same cartridge that the original release had, and all the additional content is still downloadable. So especially with something like the Switch, which would be okay to pick up in 20 years. Because it's a handheld system, you can just pick it up and play. Yeah. It's gonna miss that DLC. It's not gonna be there because that store will shut down.
Yeah,
which is a shame.
So that's why I'm kind of okay with piracy nowadays, because piracy is the only way, especially on things like these, like the 3DS right here. In about DS, 6 months, the only way to get complete stuff on this 3DS is by going the way of the pirates. Yeah, is by downloading the actual patches, by downloading the additional content and just adding it to my game. And that's going to be the only way.
Yep.
And there's unfortunate. There's a few sides to this. There's the studios that design their games around that idea, right? But I can also see that some developers see it as like, because this whole digital market is there now and downloads and DLC, it's a way for them to expand on their original game with additional content.
I get it.
It's just becoming, it's value. Rare, right? It's rare. But because in the days of Super Nintendo and all the old games, if you're gonna start developing a game, you knew you had to build one complete experience. The idea of an expansion pack was there sometimes.
I mean,
but it always came after, right?
Yeah.
It was like, okay, this game is successful. Let's make some extra content for it. But nowadays it's
set it as a new game.
Yeah, it's like one of the things you start discussing as you're conceptualizing your game.
Yeah.
Most of the time nowadays with big titles, especially from big AAA publishers, you're going to see that whole DLC design because people accept it. It's a part of the whole digital distribution now.
This is true.
So they're going to keep doing it, and because they even try to, all the things like microtransactions and battle passes. They're going to keep stretching it and trying things and testing boundaries. And if the community says no, and they're like, and it becomes a big outrage, then we take it back.
RuneScape.
They just keep trying
recently.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and of course EA with the whole loot box system stuff. Everybody knows about the term "pay to win" because it's a no-no right now.
It is.
So those are the things that are big publishers like EA are going to say, okay, well, check that off the box. Not going to happen because people don't accept it. But as long as people accept certain things, or let it happen and don't scream about it too much, it's going to remain the standard for the future. So
no, that makes sense. But
the console, by the way, it's not that much smaller, right? It is.
Oh yeah, it is.
I saw some comparisons, but it is definitely smaller. But it's
definitely smaller.
If you see it next to each other, it's like Is it the same difference as the, say, PS3 and PS3 Slim, or was that a bigger? I think that was a big reduction, if I remember correctly.
I think it's slightly.
It's 30% smaller. It's still quite significant.
No. It's
30.
yeah. It's a the PS5 is a really big boy. It's really a big boy. So it's I think it's more akin to what a PS2 used to look like.
Yeah, I think it's getting closer to the PS4 in size.
Yeah.
But it's still pretty significant. But yeah, it's still.
It's also, isn't it $50 more expensive?
Well, in the US.
Oh, just in the US.
Yeah, the prices over here already went up.
Oh, right.
So the price in the US never went up around the same time.
Yeah, that's because tax is included here and it isn't there. That's why their prices didn't went up.
Yeah.
Okay.
But with this new version, they are. So yeah, that is the PlayStation 5, the new slimmer size, but still the same platform.
You if you want a vertical stand, you'll have to buy one.
Yeah, somehow. That's I do think that's kind of stupid. For $30, you have to buy the vertical stand, which is, I know they did the same thing in the past, but then you didn't have to buy a horizontal stand. So,
it's kind of funny because it's like always marketed as horizontal, like all the PlayStation consoles.
Vertical.
Vertical, sorry.
Yeah,
sorry.
it's
vertical.
It's
standing.
Yeah, but the horizontal stand will be included. The vertical stand needs to be bought.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And which is a very big difference with the original PlayStation 5, because that one has both.
Well, it's one stand, but you can use it in both configurations.
Yeah. So it has both configurations. So this is kind of stupid. Sorry. Well, not sorry.
I've been thinking about it, and I still don't have, for me personally, I don't have a reason to buy a PlayStation 5.
There are some good games.
There's a few games
awesome
that
games.
I like. Of course, God of War, for example, is one that I still want to play at a certain point.
Spider-Man.
Spider-Man,
but
for me, not.
Most of them,
but
most of them come to PC along the line. Anyway.
And that's one of the other reasons why I haven't done it yet.
Which is better optimized. But fair enough. So some of them, like The Last of Us, kind of came out crappy.
Yeah.
But got patched along the way.
Mm-hmm.
But the Spider-Man games, arguably the PC version is the definitive edition. It's the best version you can get. It has the most options when it comes to frame rate. It will definitely look the best. And I'm pretty sure Ragnarok will come to PC, and they will probably announce it for somewhere at halfway or by the end of next year.
What was the latest game they announced?
Did they announce one a little while? Did they announce Horizon's Forbidden West?
Oh yeah, Forbidden West. Yeah,
it will be a complete edition, including the latest the DLC.
Yeah.
There will be a physical version of that for PlayStation, so they will make a physical complete edition out of that one, which I think is still a code. To be honest, I think it's the regular disc and a code.
I'm not sure.
I think I read that somewhere, but I might be wrong.
Could be.
And it's coming to PC early next year, but they didn't give a specific date or month. It is announced that you can wishlist it.
PC is October. The Horizon Forbidden West Complete Edition arrives October 6th on PlayStation 5.
And somewhere next year it will arrive on PC, but they didn't specify a date.
There was no specific date. No, that's true.
And Horizon came out just I think 2 months before Ragnarok came out. It was just a couple of months, so probably Ragnarok isn't that far out. So just hold in there, Metsman. You'll get it eventually.
Yeah. It's a really good game.
I'm not in a rush. I've got so many games.
There are too many games.
That
this
is
year.
true.
Like I said, I'm not even finding joy in the current games. So yeah.
Yeah. All right.
Let's move on to the big news story. And I think that's gonna end it for today. Take it away.
Oh, okay. So, the news is out. Microsoft closed a deal with the Activision Blizzard King merger. well, takeover, merger. Either way, they own ABK right now.
Yeah.
So
Immediately went nuts on social media.
yeah,
Everything related to that always, okay, welcome to the family. We're here. We are connected. I woke up as a Microsoft employee. Like I've seen all the tweets about that stuff, which is really funny. It's all just like a big storm, basically confirming that it's done. It's happening. So
I like it though.
But
I'm kind of happy about this.
In a way, yes. I'm
It's
definitely not a fan of consolidation within the industry, which it's going to be bad for the industry in the end. But one big person is out. And sooner than expected because his contract was going until 2024. But they said that at the end of this year, Bobby Kotick is gone.
Yeah.
So yay. That slime can piss off. I'm not a fan.
It's one of the first big pluses of this arrangement.
Yeah.
But I also think that it's pretty good. It's a pretty good deal also for developers.
Yeah.
Because of all the franchises that can like be taken from the vaults now, and you'll
don't have to work on Call of Duty anymore.
No, exactly. There's going to be developers working on new IPs that they might have never touched before, that are beloved by a lot of people.
We'll see more Crash. We'll see more Spyro. Stuff like that will, especially Microsoft and Xbox. They need more kid-friendly stuff. They don't have any of that.
True.
Back in the 360 days, they were basically the shooter bro console. Let's be honest. Everybody played Call of Duty, Gears of War, and Halo.
Yeah. But they did the FIFA Pinata, so.
Yeah, Rare did FIFA Pinata, but Rare has been stuck in the Sea of Thieves hell for over, what is it now? 5, 6, 7 years.
Yeah, but they've been working on something new behind the scenes.
Which they got pissed off at Microsoft for because they showed it off way too early and they weren't even sure what the game was going to be. And we haven't heard or seen anything about that. A Wilder something.
Yeah.
Since then. And so that got shown way too early and it was still in the conceptual stage. They weren't even sure what it was going to be or what it was going to do. And Microsoft just showed the trailer like, look what Rare is working on. So, we'll see how that goes. But, I'm happy they get to play around with these old IPs. I'm pretty sure that Activision was playing it very safe. They were just...
Too safe.
They were just doing Call of Duty, and if something didn't sell according to their prospects, they didn't try again. They just put it in a vault and locked the key. That stuff gets to come out and play. I also kind of hope that under the wings of Microsoft, Blizzard kind of gets to do its own thing again. Especially since Chris Metzen is back full time with
lore
Blizzard
master.
as a lore master.
Oh, not just a lore master this time, right?
No, he's more, like creative director right now.
Oh yeah, so much better.
So he's back there, and I hope that Activision kind of kept Blizzard on a short leash. So I'm kind of hoping they get to do a little bit more, can kind of get to step away from the microtransaction. Kind of things. It might be good for World of Warcraft if it actually gets added to Game Pass. Like if you get a World of Warcraft subscription, if you're subscribed to Game Pass, that would be great. That would probably
only if you're premium, probably.
Yeah, but
that's fine.
It might be like an upsell for like $5 instead of 13.
Yeah.
So that would be great. I think that would revitalize the MMO.
To be honest, I am kind of interested. So. If that happens, I think I would pick it up again.
Yeah, well, I don't know. They might a new StarCraft would be wonderful.
Yeah, they got Ensemble Studios.
We talked about that stuff
in the
before.
Past,
But I think there's a lot of good stuff happening here, and I'm happy just that Activision, as the way it was managed, is done.
It's done. Yeah, it was gonna die anyway at this point. The management was very bad. What's funny is that Kotick didn't even want to sell, but the board said that do it. because they wanted out. So and that's a board that he himself gathered together because they were friends mostly. So, that's very bad. If your board wants to sell, you kind of fucked up, dude. And speaking of fucking up, earlier this week there was a story on Windows Central that there was a online meeting, and Kotick did an interview, and it was run by someone that is also not beloved by everyone. Everyone really hates this guy, James Corden, of all people. So he interviewed Bobby Kotick, and it was so bizarre, according to the employees that were present.
Oh, yeah.
So no. One good thing that may come out of it, that he might have been strongly hinting that Guitar Hero could be on the docket for a revival, but that'd be cool. But we'll see.
Yeah, I wonder in what way.
Yeah,
we're still gonna get the guitar peripherals and all
I mean,
that stuff.
that would be nice, to be honest.
You kind of have to, right?
Yeah,
because that's the core of the whole idea.
Yeah, you can't just put it on a phone and be done with it.
Yeah.
No.
So we'll see what happens there.
Yeah.
And most of the other properties, all of the projects are going to be started now, but it will take years to even get announced.
It depends on, look, if they're going to be smaller games that people can work on, that'd be cool too, because they have a lot of smaller IPs as well.
I see Candy Crush. Everybody's going to be so happy about that.
I mean, yeah, that was one of the main focus things, of course, also in the video itself that it brought out today. But there's one thing I do really want to talk about, because you were kind of worried that I wouldn't have much to talk about, but today. But no, this is just very important to me. Is that the completion of the Microsoft Activision merger, according to the CWA union, this merger will transform the video game and technology labor market. What is happening is that Microsoft will remain neutral when Activision Blizzard employees express interest in joining a union, providing a clear path to collective bargaining for almost 10,000 workers. And I do love Microsoft's stance on this. They are not anti-union; they are very neutral on it. They are fine with it if people are interested in joining a union. They won't go union busting because that is very bad for your image.
Yeah.
And so that means that
another positive note, I guess.
Yeah. So back in December last year, workers at Microsoft's ZeniMax studio also announced that they were organizing with the CWA, and they were fine with it. So yeah,
that's good.
And that's a good thing. I'm very happy for the developers that get to keep their jobs. Of course, there's gonna be some layoffs. Mostly probably in some areas that are overlapping, like marketing. Some people might be shifted around, but that is an unfortunate side effect with acquisitions and mergers and that sort of stuff. So yeah,
I'm really curious about what this is going to mean. I think that the actual effects of it, of course, is going to take a few years.
Yeah.
To see what happens.
Yeah.
Because now it's all talk now for now.
Yeah, I do hope Microsoft isn't going to somehow shoot themselves in the foot again by closing a lot of studios, because that would suck.
Yeah, I mean, this is definitely a 10-year plus plan. For the next generation consoles, etc.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, and also stop buying everything now. You have enough. Focus on creating games.
Yeah, I think they will though. I think this is was their last big bite.
But people are already discussing that they should now buy because Phil Spencer has been saying for years for a long time that they they want to expand in the Japanese market, which
Right.
I say good luck, of course. But people are saying that they should buy Square or Sega or Capcom, and
They
I'm
won't
like, no,
sell.
dude, stop.
It
They
doesn't
won't
matter.
sell.
The Japanese companies won't sell to Americans.
No,
They just don't.
no,
I
no.
think they're done.
I also think that they're done buying for now because let's be honest,
Yeah.
it took them 20 months to get this done.
Mm-hmm.
A next acquisition is not going to be easy for them.
No.
They need to sit on their hands for a while, play with the toys they just bought.
They
And
have so many
make that
studios
work.
now.
Yeah, they have
There's an
so many.
image out there.
No, not just
And,
that, but
ooh,
they can expand on their Game Pass offerings and library within the next 6 months. That's the first thing we're gonna see out of this acquisition is that they will start offering those games.
Yeah, there's gonna be the whole
I'm,
restructuring is gonna happen.
yeah, I'm gonna share an image with you guys on Discord that I uploaded earlier today.
Okay, it's not very useful where it's.
No, but you can see. Just say what you see. Like there's 20.
I can't get to my Discord
Yeah, the
because
studios.
it's on
I
a.
can see
Okay.
them.
All right. So they have a ton of studios now.
Oh, I actually, because of you sending shit to Discord, you actually broke the stream.
No.
Yeah, you guys are frozen.
Ow.
They can still hear you, but you guys are frozen now.
Oh no.
God.
And we're back.
Okay. Well, that was that's weird that happens.
No, because it
Magic.
tried to move to that window, and when it moves to that window, our cameras freeze up because it's not in focus anymore.
Okay.
Because
That
we
makes
use
sense.
Discord for our cameras.
Right. Yeah, of course. So anyway, they have a shit ton of studios now. They should definitely focus on just creating games and experiences that people want. Because it's done now.
Yeah, I mean,
you're big enough at it as is.
Yeah, moving stuff into Game Pass and onto Steam and all that stuff. Those are the first things we'll notice.
They're gonna kill the Battle.net app. That's what they're gonna do.
Yeah.
Oh
I
yeah,
hope so.
definitely. They're moving everything to Steam and Xbox Game Pass app.
Probably,
and that's it. Yeah. Although we don't have to expect all the Activision Blizzard games until sometime in 2024.
Which is fine because they need time.
Exactly.
They're going into a transitional period right now. That will last until the end of the year.
Yeah.
And after that, we'll start seeing management changes.
Yeah. So, what's the over/under on whether they're going to create their own Smash Brothers now with all the franchises they have?
No.
Well, I think they're gonna combine a lot of stuff.
Oh yeah.
You're gonna see Master Chief in Call of Duty and all that sort of stuff. So it's gonna be interesting because you can think of a lot of combinations of things and crossovers and stuff where it's applicable.
Oh yeah.
And of course, I always like this idea of like having certain studios make certain games. You can have the Call of Duty team make a Halo game, for example.
Oh yeah.
Like a crazy idea.
Do something different.
Switch
it up.
Yeah, you can just. I mean, for Halo. I think 343 was kind of like the black sheep right now. So things could change in that. Because Halo is still a big thing. But if they ever want to reconquer the hearts of the Xbox Halo fan crowd, they're gonna need a new
Infinity
good Halo
Ward
game.
or Treyarch should take a look.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So.
Yeah.
And I know there's other stuff. There's also older Xbox franchise, not only Activision, but also older Xbox franchise that could be picked up now. A new Crimson Skies, a new Fusion Frenzy. All those classic.
Bring back
Xbox
Skylanders.
franchises. Yeah, stuff like that. Skylanders.
More toys to buy.
Yay.
Man, the Skylanders craze was incredible, though.
I have a bag of Skylanders right here, right next to me. Here it is. It's not gonna be in focus, but yeah.
I do think it's a shame that Lego Dimensions kind of failed.
What was that again?
Lego Dimensions was their own Toys to Game.
Oh,
type
right.
thing.
That was a pretty big thing too for a while,
Yeah.
right?
For a while, yeah, but not that long. They
Not
kind of
that
dropped
long.
it real fast. I think that also happened with the sale
Yeah,
of Warner Brothers to Comcast. They sold Warner Brothers. AT&T had to sell Warner Brothers, so they
that's
dropped it.
not the reason. The reason is that it was just too expensive.
Okay.
You,
Yeah. Okay.
you know why?
The Lego license.
Yes, they kept adding licenses. So you had
Mhm.
Ghostbusters, Scooby Doo, Sonic
Who.
the Hedgehog, Doctor Who. The Lego went for licensed material, and by doing that, they added the game mechanics, but they usually also added the real voice actors, which also
Mhm.
cost a lot of money. So they had
Yep.
a lot of license fees.
It
Then
was
they
very
had a game
expensive.
that didn't really sell well because
Mhm.
it's Skylanders was occupying that space, and Disney
Oh yeah.
Infinity was occupying that space.
Amiibos.
So they were kind of running out of
Yep.
money.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Yep.
it was leaking. Yeah,
Mhm.
those games leak money.
That stuff is extremely expensive now. If you want to buy
yeah.
that this the Sonic level pack, it's like
Mhm.
€300
Seriously?
just for the level pack. Yeah,
Wow.
it's
That's
ridiculously expensive.
Yeah, that's insane. Holy crap. I didn't know that. I didn't really dive into that.
If you
But
just want
dude.
the figure, the Lego figure, just the
Yeah.
figure
Mhm.
is 80. It's ridiculous.
Wow. That's like modern art, dude.
And that figure
Like
has a
the art
slight
for games.
yeah, that figure looks slightly different than the one you can get from the from the Sonic stuff that you can get now. It's
Mhm.
slightly
Yeah.
different, and because it's different,
Mm.
you can't interchange them. So yeah, the other one is worth a lot of money. But with that being said, I think we're gonna bow out for today. I also
Mhm.
think I have a sick kid because she started coughing a lot and crying
Oh,
really,
Mm.
really loud. So I'm gonna check out
Okay.
if everything is fine there.
Yeah.
Any last thoughts? Let's start with Matsman.
Any last thoughts
Uh,
about the news?
about the news or anything you
Or
kind
anything?
of want to bring up within a minute or so.
Well, I did order the thing, the Jurassic Park thing.
Oh, nice.
The limited run
I
thing.
didn't do the most expensive one.
No.
I did the 60. Was it the $60 one?
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
I'm in a Jurassic Park mood this month because of
Right.
The
the
movie and
30th
the
anniversary.
yeah.
Yeah.
So I also bought the expanded and remastered soundtrack, which is apparently a really rare thing.
Oh,
I
cool.
found it a good deal on Amazon,
Nice.
so I ordered that. It's a 2 CD album with like
CDs.
all the music. Yeah, CDs
Physical
because it's
media.
physical. Yeah, and I
Oh
can
my
just
God,
like digitize
CDs.
it on my own computer.
Yeah.
And have like very high quality digital versions of those tracks now.
Mhm.
And it's fun because the extra tracks are because I was used to the original soundtrack, which is very selected tracks, right? That
Mhm.
usually
Mhm.
happen, but this is the expanded one where every single music track that was used in the movie is on
Yeah.
there. So it's
Nice.
cool. But yeah,
Nice.
so I was in the Jurassic Park mood, so I bought some stuff, including some merchandise and stuff. Just
Did
for
you buy
fun.
the script? There were script pages.
Yeah, I saw the script.
Oh wow.
I think it ends in a few days. I should
Oh, you still
actually
have
keep an
time
eye
then.
on that, but I have got that on the list where you get updates from it.
Okay.
So I'm gonna keep an eye on that because it was for €5 was the initial bid, and I was like, well, that's not gonna happen. That's gonna go up, skyrocket in the last few minutes, of course,
Yeah,
like it
people are
does
gonna snipe it.
on other things. Yeah, people are gonna snipe the price
Oh,
because it's an original
definitely.
script from 1992.
Mm.
Which is really cool if you can own that. But I don't even know if I would dare to touch it because that's a unique item to have.
That's history. Yeah.
But yeah,
Very soft gloves.
yeah, and I do have one of those big,
Yeah.
uh,
You know.
cases where you can put it in. But
Yeah.
yeah, it's a thing.
It's like in art in museums. They always use those gloves.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so yeah, I bought the Jurassic Park thing.
Nice.
I got the game thing.
Yeah.
I bought the PS4 version because
Cool. You don't have a
I have a
PS5.
PS4. I don't have a PS5, but I, as we discussed, you could possibly run it on a PS5 as well.
Yeah, you
You know,
definitely can.
but
Yeah.
I'm gonna keep my PS4 probably as well. So
Yeah.
if I want to play it.
I also saw that there's some special cartridges being made with lights in them.
Yeah. That's a new update on it. Actually,
Yeah.
that happened today, I think.
Yeah.
So they also sell some extra stuff. I think they just wanted to make like special edition, and that's the original games, right? I think those are original
right.
SNES cartridges with some fancy stuff, but yeah, with lights.
Yeah.
Of all things.
I don't know.
It's a little weird.
It's going a bit too far. It's like in the 90s they had comics with like metallic comics covers.
Okay.
And there was a lot of speculation with those comic covers, like golden tins, and it's so stupid. So I'm not sure about these lights things. It's just weird to me. I can see the same thing happening with like what happened with the comics.
Yeah,
but
I just wanted to. Let's see, where is it? Yeah, because there we go. I just wanted to name the thing that I bought because I couldn't get to the title, but it's the limited run.
Yeah, so
Jurassic Park thing.
Yeah, so there's a NES cartridge, a SNES cartridge, and a Game Boy cartridge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For the real collectors. But I just bought the collection, the playable collection of all the games on the digital thing.
We need to have an unboxing by the time that comes in. Well, we'll talk in a year. It's limited run, and you got a collector's edition, so don't expect it to come in anytime soon.
I didn't buy.
No,
I didn't buy the big one.
months.
I didn't buy the collector's edition.
Okay.
I bought the second one. Which
it's still you usually like the normal editions are usually done within 6 months, and if you get a little bit more fancy, it usually takes like 12.
Yeah.
Right.
So
you
just know that the delivery times on limited run games are very, very long.
Yeah.
I've seen it like for other things they've done, and the reactions on Twitter of people that didn't get their stuff yet and complaining. So I know that stuff.
I literally had stuff
slow.
come in. I literally had stuff come in from limited run, and that I opened the package and like, when did I order this? I completely forgot about it. And then it happened to me with Castlevania. Like, when did I order this? And it was literally like 14 months prior to me actually getting that package. So it completely slipped my mind by that point.
Yeah.
So that's about it.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah.
Bush, anything you want to add?
I don't have a lot, to be honest. I don't pre-order a lot of games anymore, but I did pre-order Spider-Man 2. Because Spider-Man.
It's coming in next
Peter
week.
Parker.
But we can talk about it on the next.
Next
podcast.
week. Oh my God, it's next week already. I thought it was in about 2 or 3 weeks.
No,
Dude,
then next week I'll be playing Mario Wonder with the kids,
of course.
and I'll be playing some Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Okay. Mario on shrooms.
Awesome.
Oh yeah.
But on drugs this time.
Wonder looks weird, and I love it.
It's funny that it's almost like an inside joke, right? Because everybody's always like, you get the mushrooms, so you get bigger, and it was always associated a little bit with drugs. But now you have a power up that actually like makes everything warp
all wonky
and do weird things and stuff.
But in this case, I think it's the flowers, not the mushrooms.
Yeah.
I'm just happy they're not
funny.
toads. Mario licking toads.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, also you turn into an elephant, and I love that. The elephant looks so cute.
Yeah,
my 3-year-old's favorite animal is an elephant, so she's
nice.
really hyped for Mario Wonder. They were actually going through through the new toys catalog, because the toys catalogs always get sent out, prior to Christmas and all that stuff.
Yeah,
so it just
class.
Yeah, so it came in, and they actually pointed out like, we want Mario Wonder. I'm like, kids, it's coming out. We're gonna get that game next week, and they were all, yay, we want to play Mario Elephant. So yeah, it's gonna be part of the family rotation.
Yeah,
nice.
Definitely.
Okay, so let's see. Where can
your last thoughts?
My last thoughts. My thoughts are with my kid that's not really feeling that well.
Yeah, okay.
My thoughts are with
being tired.
To see if we can get Pokemon XD for GameCube, which is one of the holy grails I'm actively hunting for that one right now. Pokemon Coliseum as well. So we're gonna see what we can do about those.
Gate of Darkness, yeah.
Yeah,
It's gonna be difficult, dude.
No, I'm actually I have a pretty good lead. So
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I might
Nice.
have it in a few weeks.
All right. Good luck.
So yeah, we're working on those. We're probably gonna. I'm working on a YouTube video right now with regards to the GameCube and that HDMI converter I talked about earlier in the podcast. I'm actually gonna do a sort of review on that, just to show everybody that it was a $50 thing on AliExpress. I was expecting it to be completely crap, and it works like
one of those. I think I have one of those as well, because I use it for my SNES to play on Twitch. So
it's pretty cool. So I'm
it's a very simple thing, but
yeah, this came actually with a 3D printed a piece that you attach to the back of the GameCube so it won't sag down. So that's kind of cool. But yeah, I shot some B-roll. I also thought I shot some gameplay, but I realized that because of the podcast, I had it on audio only, so I need to re-record that. That's gonna happen in a week or so. And I don't have a lot of other stuff to add. Just a lot of going to the gym and keeping healthy and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So that's it for me.
Days.
Cool.
Okay, so let's do the Cross X Twitter roundup, and then we're out. So Metsman, where can they find you?
You can find me on Twittex at the Metsman.
I just keep calling it Twitter.
Yeah, I think everybody still calls it Twitter anyway.
It is. It is.
It's like Prince nowadays. Everybody's like especially in the news. It's like when something broke on Twitter, they're like on X, formerly known as Twitter. Everybody goes like, it's like Prince. It's like the artist formerly known as Prince. It's like the social platform formerly known as Twitter.
Yeah,
it's the exact same thing.
Annoying.
Mm-hmm.
Well, yeah, you can find me there, on that stupid platform name, and on Blue Sky as well. I still have to add that to the overlay somehow.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's two extra things.
It's probably the same. So it's just add bluesky.bsky.social.
Yeah, I mean, I think I have a thingy. I have a
I also have a thingy, but I don't want to talk about it on the stream.
Linktree is very handy. I have that in my profile, so that's where all my other stuff is. So just go to my X or my Twitter, if you want to call it whatever you want to call it. There's the Linktree, and you can get to all my other stuff if you're interested.
Okay. So, whatever you want to call it, it's still Twitter. So
yeah. Okay. Right.
Anyway. Yeah.
Anyway, Vash.
Yeah. So it's still Peter V Bicon. So PVBA. Wow. IKUN. On at .bsky.social. Social.bsky. I don't know.
I have to get used to all these things now.
Yeah. So it's pvbicon.bsky.social. Yeah.
Yeah.
And also pvbicon on Twitter.
Okay.
Still Twitter. It's gonna be Twitter forever.
Okay.
Unless it dies, because it died earlier today. It went really bad.
Yeah, it bugged out.
Didn't work at all. So anyway, Benjiro, you're up.
To be fair, Microsoft and Azure has been bugging out the entire week. I've had nothing but issues.
Okay.
I literally had people not receive mail for a day, and there was nothing we could do. It was just Microsoft being Microsoft.
Yeah.
So yeah, they also screw stuff up. I hope you enjoy Activision, because we won't never be able to play their games if they keep this up. Okay, so they can find me on Pixels at Sprite on the Twitterverse, and on Blue Sky it's Pixels and Sprites.social. Whatever. So I hope you guys enjoyed this week's show. We do this live on Twitch every other Friday, so we'll be back in 2 weeks, and we have a lot to talk about probably. With Spider-Man coming out, some of the other games coming out, hopefully my retro stuff will my retro collection, especially on the GameCube side, would have grown a bit. Thinking of maybe doing some wild hunting, going through a couple of thrift stores and stuff like that. And I might record that, so that's going to be fun. Or it could be a live stream. That could also be fun. Just go live stream game hunting with other people. So keep an eye on this on Twitch. Keep an eye on the socials to see if that actually happens or not. It kind of depends on my energy levels and the amount of sleep I'm gonna get. Okay, so thanks everybody for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed. We'll be back in 2 weeks. See you guys later.
Later.
Bye.